The blueprint for Sean's prank is one glove, courtesy of a superhero, one belching recycling bin, a volcanic fire hydrant, and an explosive car.
Here is the blueprint for Laurence Blasey's prank. Start off with a glass of rebellious daughter, add a side order of ridiculous car, and top the whole thing off with the main course. One nightmare boyfriend. Hope you're hungry, Dad. The blueprint for Samantha's prank is one dirty spoon, one bowl of salt soup, and one feisty duck. All served by one heck of a bad and stinky waiter. Here's the blueprint for Mitchell's prank. One fake motion capture suit to control Steel Hawk, warrior of the future, who will be inside a 3D computer universe that we project onto one giant breakaway wall. Here's the blueprint for Caitlin's prank. One pizza delivery person to mention the cat lady, one window rigged to slam shut, one phony newspaper story, realistic cat sounds, a false wall, a trick mirror, and one nightmare of a ghost. The blueprint for Chelsea's dream prank is billion-year-old dino bones, a nest of fresh dino eggs, one of which will move, a big egg that hatches, and a curious little baby dino that comes lunging out. The blueprint for Franco's prank is one busted board plus one smashed brick times two beaten men divided by one crushed glass to the power of several servings of fake energy drink, all equaling one very frightened class. The blueprint for Vero's prank is one magic table to spin one steel spoon that will be used to explode one phony kitchen on the set of a fake infomercial starring one freaked out sister. The blueprint for Evan's prank is one carefree diver to prop up one legendary monster with one fish's voice to send one synchro swimming sister screaming to shore. The blueprint for Sarah's prank is a trashed yard, a big pile of poo, some king-size tracks, a bogus video, and gee, am I forgetting something? Oh yeah, and Bigfoot. The blueprint for Lindell's prank is one insulting song heard by three curious cousins wearing three awful outfits, dancing in one weird video, all in awe of one very cool rap star. The blueprint for Christopher's prank is a science center tour to see one destructive robot destroy one high-tech lab and blame two troublesome cousins who will get scolded by one mean scientist. The blueprint for Chelsea's interstellar sleepover prank is one alien crop circle, a fake UFO video, a breaking news report, UFO lights and sounds, and the big surprise, an actual alien. The blueprint for Julian's prank is a terrified janitor, a trashed laboratory, a fridge full of growth serum, an empty cage, and one giant spider on the loose. The blueprint for Jessica's prank is one bumbling maintenance man working on a smoke-filled bowling lane with pins that will be crushed by a bird-brained bowling ball, bowled, of course, by one frustrated grandmother. The blueprint for Wesley's prank is a scrap metal yard, a giant crusher, an old magician's photograph, and a talking car that drives itself. The blueprint for Anna's prank is a wacky dinner party hosted by a phony movie star who will show a peculiar movie before serving a disgusting meal to two pranking friends. The blueprint for Bobby's prank is a heavy metal show in a heavy metal club where a heavy metal hating dad will listen to a heavy metal manager asking for heavy duty money. Phew, this is heavy. The blueprint for Zoe's prank is a bogus art auction where some worthless art will be bid on for thousands of dollars, then broken into hundreds of pieces by a nervous friend who'll eventually get branded an art thief. The
blueprint for Olivia's prank is a big sister trapped in an awkward date at a mini golf putt with a lovesick vampire wannabe madman who's looking to get married now. The blueprint for DeCarla's prank is a creepy laboratory, a mad scientist, a bogus strength test, a blood-sucking needle, an experiment gone wrong, and a screaming daughter being hunted down by, you guessed it, Frankenstein.
I don't even know.
The blueprint for Pia's prank is some booby-trapped cupboards, a busted antique chair, a falling chandelier, and a king-sized rat, all in a house of garbage for Shima to clean up. The blueprint for Deborah's prank is a mysterious back room, a sudden power outage, creepy noises, and a freaky experiment gone wrong, spawning a gravity-defying Catman, all adding up to one terrifying horror movie. The blueprint for Corey's prank is one homemade tomb in an Egyptian-style room with an ancient spell tablet that, when read, will bring a mummy to life and scare a friend to death. The blueprint for Jeff's prank is some intimidating muscle picks, a bone-crushing bench press, a prop TV that Trevor can't lift, a damsel in distress that Trevor can't save, and a 100-year-old superhero to do everything Trevor can't.
No.
The blueprint for Federica's prank is a spewing cream mixer, a sped-up conveyor belt, a nightmare boss, a bowling bride, and a finger-pointing friend, all adding up to a part-time job that's gonna make Claire never want to work again. The blueprint for Danny's prank is get her super smart brother to a top-secret research lab where he'll fail an intelligence test and get outsmarted by a gorilla who will fall in love with him, escape from her cage, and chase after him in a wild fit of rage. The blueprint for Alex's prank is an audition for a wrestling TV show with Mateo playing the chicken before he angers a pro wrestler and gets challenged to a fight, forcing the protector Alex to step in and the chicken Mateo to take flight. Avast me proud beauty, 'cause the blueprint for Ryan's prank be an old lot of land where three things be found. Some ancient coins, a pirate skeleton, and a cursed treasure. Before moaning sounds are heard and a ghost pirate be seen, rising to protect his treasure and of course scare Bradley and Alex for good measure, not pleasure. Arr. The blueprint for Luca's prank is one large explosion to lure one big brother into a massive crater where a giant meteorite will have some footprints leading to a deserted trailer with an alien inside.
Hey!
So when Fabio opens the door, he'll be scared out of his mind. The blueprint for Johnny's prank is an Ice Age exhibit with a 10,000-year-old Iceman that Kristen will see, standing in a cryogenic chamber. Yes, that would be me. Next to some woolly mammoth poo that Kristen will break, resulting in some undeserved blame that she'll most certainly take. Before the Iceman unthaws and goes in search of some food. So if you have some, Kristen, be a nice girl and give a little to the frozen dude. The blueprint for Emily's prank is 2 magic tricks, followed by 3 spell cards to send several books a-flying and a crystal ball a-smashing, before an evil wizard appears and Emily battles him into submission, leaving a bedazzled little sister to wonder, what in the world just happened?
Fine.
The blueprint for Adam's picture-perfect prank is, in Act 1, Sean will get blamed for knocking a light stand into a table full of snack food. In Act 2, he'll get blamed for giving bad acting advice to an actor and screwing up a scene. And for the climax in Act 3, Sean will get blamed for triggering a fan that blows away the entire movie set. And that, my friends, is a wrap. The blueprint for Mitchell's prank is a $5,000 suit for Mitchell and $4 blazers for the brothers, a horse's butt painting for Matthew, a busted blender for Justin, and a brand new BMW for Mitchell, adding up to one big winner and a couple of, well, let's just call them non-winners. I'm feeling nice today. The blueprint for Iris's prank is one sleep lab with one dream machine to project one bogus daydream, followed by one bogus nightmare, before one really real teacher bursts through the screen and limps up to Sabrina.
Boo.
Who's surely gonna hope it's all just been a very bad dream. The blueprint for Mariah's prank is a haunted theater, a self-stirring coffee cup, a ghostly encounter, and a phantom menace to create a ghost story so horrifying it just might scare the terror right out of her buddy Aaron. The blueprint for Grace's prank is a superstar's apartment with one super smart dog that's gonna hop in some paint and roll in some sawdust before a mountain of bubbles seeps onto the floor and Victor the dog goes out the front door, cueing one Mr. Depp to come home dressed as a mummy and freak because his dog has gone missing. Oh boy, should be funny. The blueprint for Emily's prank is some intimidating photographs, a few bizarre phone calls, one broken statue, and one terrifying boss. The blueprint for Devin's prank is one computer warehouse with one zombie-making computer to make a zombie out of Devin and a believer out of Jamie. Before a zombie report gets aired, zombies come to scare, smashing computers on the floor and sending Jamie running for the door. The blueprint for Carly's prank is a used clothing store, a brand new boyfriend, a ripped-off customer, a ripped-off wardrobe, and a fireman's warning, giving Michelle the choice to either save herself or save her wardrobe. The blueprint for Blair's prank is one very wild child, two smashed pieces of furniture, and one sister trapped inside a TV, adding up to a babysitting job Aaron will definitely want to flee. The blueprint for Stefano's prank is a pocket full of cash to share, a cop car with two cops to scare, Stefano arrested, and Jake interrogated where he's shown proof of Stefano's guilt, a pocket full of cash discovered, leading the cops to believe Jake's a part of Stefano's crime spree. The blueprint for Veronique's prank is one enormous bee's nest, one big fat scary radio report, and one gigantic killer bee. All adding up to one very humongous scare. The blueprint for Brandon's prank is a bucket of slime, an obstacle course that's been rigged, some gross out food for Din Din, and a trivia question that Daniel will know, but when he answers will be told no, no. All adding up to one very frustrated contestant on a nonsense game show. The blueprint for Claudia's prank is some snapping traps, rat stew and rat droppings, Frankie the frozen rat, and Andy the giant rat, all adding up to a pretty unappetizing day at work for Aline. The blueprint for Amanda's prank is some stinky perfume, a horrid makeover, some brutal gossip, and a cheeseball commercial, which I have to say should give Jenna one heck of an embarrassing day. The blueprint for Dylan's prank is one real hospital room with one very fake patient who has a bogus broken ankle and will cry out in pain before the werewolf in the next bed strips off his bandages and scares Jake so bad he just might lose his head. The blueprint for Zareel's prank is a bogus research lab, an invisibility suit, Zareel's disappearing act, some self-moving objects, and an invisible man's attack. That should all add up to Jordan thinking Zareel is invisible. And even better, he'll think he is too. The blueprint for Gabriella's prank is an antique fortune-telling machine with my made-up face inside, some questions answered, a curse card issued, and some video games that'll malfunction, which should all add up to Giuliano believing that he's been cursed. The blueprint for Vito's prank is a super-duper costume, superhuman strength, super explosive vision, and a super bad villain vanquished, which should all add up to his stepson Jeffrey believing that he's a superhero.